This is Future Talk.
Future Talk.
Future Talk with Omnia Saleh and Hani Balkis.
Welcome back to Future Talk right here on Pulse 95. It is me, Hani Balkis, with Omnia Saleh. I'll bring you everything you need to know about what's happening in the tech world and in the UAE. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a beautiful Thursday afternoon. I'm so happy it's Thursday. It's been a very, 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 very long week.
I totally agree with you. Couldn't be happier that today is Thursday. I hope you're all excited for the weekend and having a blessed last working day, being as productive as you can. We have lots and lots to share with you about what's happening in the tech world. And we're going to be starting out with hackers that have breached the surveillance cameras of Tesla, the United States jail, and much more. This story has been making headlines everywhere.
Yes, hackers have also breached Microsoft once again. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what's going on with hackers, but we're also going to be talking about the Emirates Mars Mission Hope probe and how it's already ready for science data gathering.
Yes, indeed. Coming up in the world of apps, lots is happening as well. We're going to be talking all about Facebook launching a new version of Instagram that is allowing different countries that don't necessarily have very strong internet to still be connected to the social media platform. We're talking all about Instagram Lite.
Yes, and we're also going to be talking about the UAE and how they're going to use electric shock drones in cloud seeding operations because, ladies and gentlemen, we need a little bit of a rain right here in the UAE.
Yes, indeed. I feel like winter is going to be over and we've still yet to see rain.
Spring, I guess now. It's not even winter anymore.
You're right about that. WhatsApp is also making headlines today because there is a rumor that they're currently working on password-protected, encrypted chat backups. This is going to be great for all those who like to keep their chats as private as possible.
Yes, so don't have any stupid passwords.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
Your quick roundup of everything that is happening in the tech world, in the UAE and around the world. Today's discussion on Daily Digital is all about hackers because this is one of the biggest hacking attacks that has ever happened, in my opinion, in the United States, because hackers were able to breach surveillance cameras at Tesla, the United States jail, Microsoft, and so much more. Now, the camera maker Verkada actually did acknowledge the intrusion, and they said that they disabled all internal administrator accounts. But the question is, why did an intrusion happen to begin with?
Yes, now a small group of hackers have viewed live and archived surveillance footage from hundreds of businesses, including Tesla, by gaining administrative access to that camera maker Verkada. Now, Swiss software developer has said that the attention gained from this for finding security flaws in mobile apps and other systems, and even shared screenshots on Twitter from inside a Tesla warehouse all the way in California and an Alabama jail in the United States. Now, they did also decline to identify other members of the group.
Yes, indeed. Now, they did seek to draw attention to the pervasive monitoring of people after having found login information for Verkada's administrative tools publicly online this week. They did, as you've mentioned, Hani, acknowledge intrusion, and their internal security team, as well as external security firm, are currently investigating the scale and how big did this issue become. They've also notified law enforcement and their customers.
Yes, and actually, the Verkada did cut off the hackers' access just hours before Bloomberg actually first reported the breach on Tuesday. Now, the hacking group, if it had chosen, could have actually used its control of the camera gear to even access other parts of company networks at Tesla and software makers Cloudflare and even Okta. So that is a big one. So we're saying Tesla, Cloudflare, and Okta, and they did not actually respond to requests for comment. Now, a list of Vertica users actually provided by the hacking group and seen include thousands of organizations, including gym chain, Bay Club, and transportation technology startup, our good friend Virgin Hyperloop.
Yes, indeed. Now, Verkada, for those of you who don't know, they do have a lot of customers, about 5,200 customers, including different cities, colleges, hotels, and their cameras have been very popular because they usually pair with a specific software so that you can go ahead and search for specific people or even specific items. And users can actually access the feeds, access the monitoring of those cameras remotely through the cloud. So they can be anywhere around the world and still find out exactly what is happening. But who else found out exactly what is happening are those hackers.
Yes, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to know your guys' thoughts. 4215 Salat. And message us at Pulse95 Radio on Instagram. I do believe that Verkada is at fault here because obviously they do have a security flaw, and those companies, they were the victims to it. We're going to be taking a short break, but when we come back, we're talking about the UAE Hope Probe Mars mission, but it's just born to be yours.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, the Emirates Mars mission Hope Probe is finally ready for science data gathering. Now, the probe has so far captured over 825 images of Mars using its 3 instruments and generating some 30 gigs of novel data on Mars's atmospheric makeup.
Yes, indeed. So the Mars mission, as you mentioned, Hani, is ready to start its science journey, and it has completed a very intensive testing phase and transitioning into its science orbit. But now everything is set, everything is ready to go, and they've even been testing ahead of schedule. So they are already on time to get this science mission started. So they've already amassed a library of about 280,000 spectra of Mars by using the Emirates Mars infrared spectrometer alone. They've also been able to take a range of highly detailed images of the planet by using an imager that actually helped the fact that they were very close at the point of orbit, closer than the Chinese rover, closer than the United States NASA's rover, and they were able to actually be on the sunny side of Mars. They're very excited. The whole team is excited actually to be moving to their science orbit and starting the flow of planetary data to gather over the coming Martian year.
Yes, now the Hope Probe will actually commence the first of 2 planned transition to science maneuvers on the 22nd of March, with a second on the 6th of April. A third maneuver, which was originally planned by the team, is not expected to actually be required. Now, the Mars Hope Probe has planned 20,000 to 43,000 kilometers of elliptical science orbit with an inclination to Mars of 25 degrees. And that probe will complete one orbit of the planet every 55 hours and will capture a full planetary data sample every 9 days. A lot of scientific terminology to kind of sink in and gather. But ladies and gentlemen, this just means that we're going to get all the information and data needed, which is going to be sent back here to the UAE so we can learn more about the Earth's atmosphere and at the same time learn a lot more about Mars.
Yes, indeed. Hope is a fully autonomous spacecraft. So we're looking at a very intelligent rover that is out there with 3 instruments to measure Mars's atmosphere. It weighs about 1,350 kilograms, so it's approximately the size of a small SUV, and the spacecraft was actually worked on completely by a team of Emirati not astronauts, but engineers and researchers who have been working day in and out. I think about 500 million hours of research went into this spacecraft.
Yes.
And as you've mentioned, Hani, there's a lot coming from the Hope Probe back to planet Earth. The relationship between the different layers of planet Mars will help us understand more about planet Earth, because Mars was actually at some point very similar to planet Earth. Something happened, and we're still trying to understand what happened to change that reality.
Yes, now the Hope Probe's historic journey to the Red Planet does coincide with a year of celebrations to mark the UAE's Golden Jubilee. Ladies and gentlemen, let's know your guys' thoughts. 4215. Do what's thought if you're excited as well as us to see what Mars or the Hope Probe mission has in store for us. We're going to be taking a short break, but when we come back, we're talking about Facebook and how they're launching Instagram Lite.
Pulse 95.
Apps all around.
What's worth a click and download?
You know, out of all things that I thought we would get a light version out of, I did not think Instagram would be one of those apps, but Facebook is being smart and they do want to spread their reign over every country in this world, and they have created something for countries that suffer from lower bandwidth. So Instagram Lite is coming to 117 countries, and it's going to be available globally it's actually been available globally for about 5 years, but it's coming to those low bandwidth countries very, very soon. So anyone or any person that has poor internet access can still enjoy accessing that whole photo, video sharing, social networking app.
Yes, Instagram Lite will be available for Android-based phones and require less bandwidth than the traditional version. The app itself does require just 2 megabytes versus the 30 megabyte, which is originally for Instagram, and runs even on slower 2G networks, allowing customers in parts of India, Africa, Asia, and Latin America with older internet infrastructure to even access this service. Now, I feel like it's a very important thing to talk about, because if I open my Instagram app right now, or my settings, and see how much data I'm consuming, Instagram is the number one data kind of consuming much data on my phone. And we do know that because Instagram has very high quality pictures, videos, stories, etc. And they don't kind of distort the images when they're uploaded. So it's very important for people who have slower internet connections to even enjoy Instagram. And I do believe that is a good job from Facebook to introduce Instagram Lite.
Absolutely, especially because just like you mentioned, Instagram is very much heavily based on video as well, and video eats up your data like no other. So having this ability to still use Instagram, even if you have a smaller data package, and if you feel like you're going to be running out of that, you can still be able to enjoy your experience on Instagram. But also, I feel like countries like this with very minimal needs, with very minimal capabilities of having internet access, they are in the greatest need of such a social media platform to be able to communicate with one another. Now, Facebook's R&D is still looking to have a full global launch, but as far as of now, those 170 countries are going to be getting the Instagram Lite very, very soon. The team also noted that other than TV and Reels for creating and sharing short video clips, Instagram Lite have retained the many key features that we typically find and we typically enjoy, just not the newest features.
Yeah, Instagram Lite is launching with all the basic bells and whistles around editing, sharing, and even viewing photos and videos, as well as the ability to add stickers, create and view stories, and even IGTV and explore discovery and recommendation algorithms. And given the launch access across those 170 countries is coming with specific language to support those markets. So I do believe that you'll be having an Indian language as well. In those countries. Now, the developers have actually left out many graphics. They haven't included advertising, and it's missing some key features like the ability to make TikTok-ish reels, just like TikTok. You have reels on Instagram. You can't make them, but you can still view them. Dark mode shopping and end-to-end encryption. Now, you're probably wondering, Hani, there's no encryption though. What about privacy? Good question. Now, notably, the encryption was reported being working on for the main app all the way back in 2019, but it has yet to be launched, nor are there iOS or feature phone versions of the app in the works. Now, Facebook also did say that some of that list, such as dark mode and of course adverts, will be added in future updates. Now, Instagram Lite has been teased for the past couple of years now, ever since 2018, because we do know Facebook Lite has been around since 5 years ago. So, oh my God, what year are we in? 2016. So yeah, I'm a little bit off on the years. So 2016. So I mean, having Facebook Lite 2016 and now 2021, 5 years later, Instagram Lite, I think that is very important. But I do believe a lot of people in those type of countries use Facebook more than Instagram. So I think that's why Instagram was kind of pushed towards the end. But again, the thing is, because we're seeing Instagram Reels coming out, they want to hit the target markets. Again, TikTok's success was mainly from Indian markets. So Instagram Reels being accessible to that Indian market where they don't have as high bandwidth as other countries is just going to make Reels a lot more accessible.
You're absolutely right. India is a very, very big home for Facebook and Instagram, and we've even seen Apple embrace that part, since they are hopefully soon going to be introducing a way to manufacture iPhone 12s over there as well. But one big initiative that Facebook and Instagram are aiming to accomplish through launching the Instagram Lite is helping small businesses sell their products online. So even though you may not be able to create shorts and post them, or reels and post them on Instagram, you'll still be able to view them. You'll still be able to create small businesses and sell products online, which is a very, very big plus whenever we're talking about using Instagram. Our text lines are open, 4215-DUR-ITISALAT, or slide into our DMs at Pulse 95 Radio. Let us know, what are your thoughts about having Instagram Lite accessible in countries that don't have as strong of an internet access as we do right here in the UAE?
Check this out. Check this out. Pulse 95.
Right here in the UAE, we love our rain. And even though Mother Nature can definitely bless us with rain sometimes, we, right here in the UAE, researchers, scientists, have our ways to help encourage the production of rain, because the latest efforts of it all has been electric charged drones that are helping out in cloud seeding operations. The UAE Weather Center team has teamed up with Reading University to trial new theories and technologies, and we're definitely excited to share with you how this will be happening.
Yes, forecasters in the UAE are studying whether electricity could improve rainfall during cloud seeding operations. Now, the National Center of Meteorology is teaming up with experts from the UK for the study, which will use drones to deliver an electric charge to air molecules. Now, moisture in clouds naturally do carry electricity, so having that electric charge, giving that the electric boost, may actually cause rainfall. So, altering the size of the charges, water droplets could potentially be made to grow more quickly, making them merge to produce rain.
Yes, indeed. It will also be tested first on clear days and later on once conditions allow during any day where we see a little bit of light fog. These scientists will be making sure to make the most out of it, because when the presence of dust is expected to result in a more highly charged conditions, that is when those electric charged drones have the biggest chance of producing rain. Now, the project does aim to evaluate the importance of charge when it comes to impacting how big of a droplet is the water, how big of a droplet does come out of the cloud itself. And rainfall generation is also a big factor when it comes to using these electric drones. The technology was developed and tested in the UK and Finland, but traditional cloud seeding methods also do involve airplane firing salt crystal flares into the cloud. So this is just trying to make it a bit more autonomous.
Yes, indeed. Now, as the cloud does suck up the crystals, they do attract tiny particles of water that then collide and become heavier. The water then falls as rain. Now, researchers are looking at the possibility of using electric charge to generate more wet weather. Now, tall masts, ground-based structures about 10 meters tall, could be a means of delivering a large charge into the clouds and even low-lying fog. So I'm really excited to see maybe one day we could control the rain, or not even control it, give it a little bit of motivation so it can rain on the beautiful UAE. I'm really excited for this one. And we have seen cloud seeding when it did come to salt particles work in the past. So maybe the electricity thing might be more successful and we just might see more rain right here in the UAE. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to text us in your thoughts, 4215, do it slots, or on our Instagram at Pulse95 Radio. I just don't think that we had enough rain this year or last year.
I agree. I love rainy weather right here in the UAE because we don't get a lot of it, and when we do appreciate every bit of that rainfall. Coming up on the show, we're going to be talking all about WhatsApp, currently working on password-protected encrypted chat backups. If you want to find out how you can do it, make sure you stay tuned right here on Pulse 95.
Pulse 95.
Apps all around.
What's worth a click and download? Pulse 95.
Ladies and gentlemen, WhatsApp is working on password-protected encrypted chat backups. It looks like they're upping their encryption and their protection. Ever since I think back in January, they were actually being ridiculed for their privacy new terms and agreement. But WhatsApp is now working to increase the security of its cloud backups with a new password protection feature that will encrypt those chat backups, making them accessible only to the user.
Yes, indeed. So what WhatsApp is trying to do is prevent unauthorized access to our iCloud Drive backups. So you can go ahead and set a password that will be used to encrypt future backups. Now, the password will be required whenever you go ahead and want to restore from that backup. But overall, it is definitely helping increase that level of security for every person's chats on their platform or on the WhatsApp platform. Now, the application will ask the user to go ahead and confirm their phone number, and then they can go ahead and select an 8-character long password. Another screenshot that has been circulating all over social media showcases that WhatsApp will not be able to help you recover forgotten passwords. So if that is something that you are notorious for, forgetting your password, think twice before going ahead and applying for this feature, because you may just not be able to restore any of your chats in that case.
Yes, now although WhatsApp chats are already end-to-end encrypted, meaning they're only visible to the sender and the receiver, the service does warn that this protection does not extend to online backups stored on Google Drive and iCloud. Now, once they are on these servers, the security of the backups is responsible of the cloud service providers, who in the past have actually made them accessible to law enforcement authorities with valid research warrants, obviously. Now, encrypting the backups with a password only you know would theoretically prevent anyone from accessing your chat history without your authorization. Now, going back and talking about how there's no a forgotten password feature. Now, with most encryptments, there is no forgotten password feature because you should not forget this password, because unfortunately, with any forget your password feature, there are kind of loopholes on how anyone can access those features. If they have access to your email and or access to your phone number, they could send a kind of authorization code to that email or to that number, thus granting access to those chats.
Absolutely. And most recently, we've actually seen one WhatsApp scam where people have been trying to log into other people's WhatsApp accounts, and all they need is an OTP that they go ahead and hack and use their social engineering techniques to get from the user itself. But when we're looking at WhatsApp, considering launching such a feature at a time when they've been receiving a lot of backlash because of their most recent privacy policy, their reputation has taken a big hit, and this is one way they're trying to kind of rise back up through it. Now, WhatsApp does insist that the new policy that they've launched does not impact any person's chat privacy, especially when we're talking to personal chats, between family and friends, not with businesses. These chats are private. It's just those business chats that are currently being used to help train their artificial intelligence. But again, great effort done by WhatsApp.
Yes, WhatsApp is trying to save face as much as they can, but I guess they're doing all right because we're still using the app, and we are going to continue still using that app. Let us know your guys' thoughts. 4215. Do it slots or on Instagram at Pulse95 Radio. But ladies and gentlemen, this does conclude today's Future Talk. I hope you guys have a great weekend and a great safe weekend. As we do know, the COVID-19 pandemic is still alive and well, unfortunately. So you do need to social distance, wear those masks, and stay safe.
Yes, indeed. Coming up is Afternoon Karak. The Dream Team, Aisha Al-Mazmi and Mikhail Atiya, have their weekend recommendations in store for all of you. This is my favorite episode on their show because any shows, any movies that are currently trending, you can find them out all on their show. It'll start out from 4 to 5 p.m. So make sure you keep Pulse 95 locked for that. We'll see you on Sunday, same time, same place, only here on Pulse 95.
Okay. That's Alyssa Cara, by the way.
If you liked this episode of Future Talk, drop a like and subscribe.
Pulse 95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.